Oops, I am so sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Wanted to do a discussion, but I wanted to say hello, y'all, and thank you for joining me. I know that most of you right now are probably going to be watching my replay because I am very new to YouTube, and I'm just now organizing my channel. But today I wanted to talk, I guess, a little bit about me. My name is Chef Terra Pink. I like to do things about pastries, world desserts, as well as a little bit of true crime and fairy lore. That is my side of the world right there, cottage core lover, and everything magical homemaking. So if any of those interest you, just please give me a follow. I will give you a follow back, and let's get started. Today what I'm going to talk about is leaky cheesecake or problems with cheesecake, and most of the problems that some of the problems that people have with cheesecake is either it is leaky, like in the picture here you'll see like the watery texture or whatever that sometimes leaks from there, or you might have like let's see if I can find that picture, so just give me one moment right here and I'm gonna give you
I switched from due dates to due dates.
Sorry about that sound right there, but let me give you a picture of a, let's see, crumbled cheesecake topping, because like people will get these I wasn't talking about that. Let's see, because those crumbled cheesecake tops look good. Well, what we're talking about, oh, I found the perfect picture. Okay, so hold on, we got this image. Let me save it here, and then let me show it to you. So let me go ahead and upload it here. So let's see. All right. Okay, so right here, let me put these both side by side so that we can see them here. But we have the crumbled, how it dents up like that, and we have the leaky cheesecake. Now, some people, they be like, okay, well, I followed the recipe, I don't understand what happened. Today we are going to find out what happened to the cheesecake that crumbled this way, okay? But just to start with my thing, hold on just a moment. Let me close my cam because Alright. Okay. So alright, so anyway, like I said, today we are unraveling a very sneaky crime in the cheesecake kingdom, okay? And it is called leaky cheesecake. People have had these problems. They have no idea what has been going on with their cheesecakes, and we're going to solve the issue, okay? Today we're going to solve the issue of the leaky cheesecake. Yes, baby. So some of y'all cheesecakes are leaking more than a fairy's tear during a full moon. The crust is slipping, the butter is bubbling out, or the water bath is creeping in like a little kitchen villain. All right, but don't worry. Today we are solving all of that. So just get comfy, get hydrated, and let's figure out why these cakes are running away from us, okay? So, and just like I said, we're not only just going to talk about the leaky one, we're going to talk about the other one too that a lot of people don't like to talk about because they're like, well, at least it's done. It's not watery, whatever. But we're going to get to the major points of these. So, before we play detective, we need to define the crime. A cheesecake can leak in 3 ways. All right? Number 1, it's either the pan. The pan leaks. The butter drips out of the springform pan. And if any of you have ever made a cheesecake before, you know that there is a springform pan that some people like to use. And I should have already had these pictures out for you, but I'm going to go ahead and grab a picture real quick and upload it so that you can see what I'm talking about when I say the springform pan. Now, what a springform pan is that you literally, like, hold on just a second. Let me upload the picture here. Okay, we're gonna put springform pan and upload the picture. Alright, so this dude right here, this picture right here is what we call, why is it I can't click it? Okay, this is what we call a springform pan. A lot of people make they make a cheesecake in this. So do you see that around the edges and things like that, like it's not totally closed up and things like that. So this is what I'm talking about when I say a springform pan. So number 1, the pan leaks. Okay. Number 2, the cheesecake leaks internally, crust sliding, batter thinning. Number 3, water bath leaks and bottom gets soggy, crust turns to mud. So these 3 are different ways that you can get a leaky cheesecake. Okay. Those are just the first ways that you can get, but those are not the only ways. Now, each one has its own suspect behind it, okay? And I will explain this briefly in just a minute, all right? So, now, springform pans are like exes. They look trustworthy, but baby, they will betray you. You cannot trust a springform pan. There's extra things that you're going to have to do to it, okay? And the causes is the reason why you can't trust these is like sometimes if you buy the cheap ones or the loose latch, that may happen, or a bent rim. Or the base may not be fully seated. There may be wear and tear causing gaps, which causes you to have a leaky cheesecake. Some of your solutions for the leaky for the springform pan, reason why you may be having a leaky cheesecake is to use a heavy duty springform pan. Avoid the Dollar Tree ones, okay? Because these will probably have a lot of these issues. Trust me, I didn't even know they had springform pans at the Dollar Tree. Okay, that is new news to me. But yeah, I wouldn't trust a springform pan at the Dollar Tree. You can try wrapping the outside with 2 layers of heavy duty foil if you think that that would help. Or you can line the bottom with parchment and wrap the bottom edge. You can try using a silicone water bath barrier. All right. This would help that as well. So, springform pans, I literally don't trust them. Like, even if they are a good one and people are like, yeah, you can, the reason why people use springform pans for making cheesecake is because, like, cheesecake is not like regular cake. You can't just, like, pop it out. You can't just, like, once it gets through, you just turn it over and it all comes out or whatever. Springform pans are made to, like, whatever you pour it in there and it gets hot, you literally unhook the latch and it releases from around it, and you can just pull that up and your cheesecake is ready. You don't have to like tilt it over or anything like that. Me, I still use traditional pans. What I do is I use a pan with a parchment on the bottom and around the edges. So I have like a strip of a parchment around the edges, and I also put a board under the bottom so that I can easily get it out. So there's like a board with a parchment, and like you have like handles. You leave your handles outside so you can lift up the cheesecake once it's ready. So I will have to go through the whole thing of how I do that personally later on, or in another video, to show you exactly how it's done. Okay. So now, let's talk about the crusts that slip and slide like they're in greased up ballet classes, all right? Now, the reason why this is because it could be too much butter, or the butter is not fully absorbed by the crumbs, or the crust is pressed too high up the sides. The crust may be underbaked. Hot butter mixing causing separation. Never put really hot butter. Make sure that everything is room temperature when you're beginning to cook. Okay, so here are some solutions to the crust leakage right here. Is mix until the crumbs look like wet sand, not mud. All right, so you gotta, like, it's going to still feel dry, and I know that some people are feeling like, okay, this is not the right whatever. No, it's gonna feel like sand. It's gonna feel dry. Just pack it down like you're on like a beach playground, and then you fill in your cheesecake. Okay, if it looks like mud that is too watery, add more graham to it. Pre-bake your crust 8 to 10 minutes. So here's another way. You put your crust in the oven, and most people call this blind baking or flash baking. You know, a lot of people do this with pizza as well. They will flash bake the bottom of the pizza, especially if it's like a deep dish or something like that, and then you put the toppings on it, and then you bake it again. Cool your crust before adding a filling. So once your crust comes out the oven, when you blind bake it, make sure that it is all the way cool before adding the cheesecake filling. Use 1 to 2 tablespoons of flour in the crust for reinforcement. This is also something that you can do. And pressing firmly using a cup or jar. So yeah, you can always like press down with something to make sure it's packed really, really, really good. Also, here is another reason why the batter may get watery. And okay, so sometimes the batter itself is telling you, I don't want to be thick today. It just will not thicken up for you at all. Now, here are some causes that may cause your batter to be watery. Your cream cheese is not softened. It could be overbeating. If you mix your cream cheese way too much, it could be adding too much air. And then too much air, just like, it is not good for the cheesecake at all. You want to fold and stir and not have too much whipping going on and overbeating. Undercreamed sugar. Now we're talking about overbeating and undercreamed. Your sugar must be creamed, but this is separate than your batter, okay? So make sure you cream that sugar first, and then whenever you add into the other, like, make sure you just fold and mix. Too much liquid flavoring, okay, you guys? I know you love your flavors or whatever. Here's 2 things. I know we're just talking about the causes right now, but I just have to add this in here. The oil flavors work so much better than the liquid flavors. Sometimes like those liquid flavors, it does contain high alcohol content, which a lot of them do. But with the oil ones, you only need like a couple of drops, and it won't mess with the recipe too much. But if you get the liquid ones, you're gonna need way more of that to flavor it, and it changes the whole recipe. And using low fat dairy. A lot of people do not know this about low fat dairy, but low fat dairy is not, I don't even really consider it dairy. Okay? Low fat dairy is it literally is just like a bunch of water and like supplements. Like, I don't even know if dairy is even still in there, or why do they even call it dairy? Yes, it has little particles of dairy in it, but it's basically like a liquid, like water and like little vitamin supplements. I don't even know why it should even be called it's like, you know, and skim milk is the same way. So try to use a full fat milk, because all of the water is going to come out. This will destroy your cheesecakes. I know that people try to make low fat cheesecakes, and you know, maybe this would be better for you, but like, you will get that really kind of unsavory watery cheesecake. If you use a skim milk or a low fat milk, you need a full fat milk for your cheesecake. Okay, so here are some solutions for that. Is make sure that you room temperature your cream cheese, mix on low, add your eggs one at a time, and keep your filling thick and silky. Also use full fat ingredients for your structure. All full fat ingredients, because this will prevent all of those unwanted things that that you may be going through. Okay. So the biggest villain. Hold on. I have to take a water break because this is this is a big part right here. So the biggest villain is water bath leaks. I kind of personally think the biggest villain is the skim milk and the fat free, because so many people do that and they don't understand that they're making the cheesecake worse. But biggest villain is the water bath. The water creeping into your cheesecake like a little ninja. Okay, it will do it every time. And like, this is why I have the springform pans up here. I do not like them. It happens to me a lot. I don't care. Like, unless I'm doing extra stuff. Like, if I just put it straight in springform pan and I just kind of like do it like that, I'm gonna get a leak. I don't know. Like, so here's the causes for that. Foil not sealed. You have to foil seal it. I don't really like all that aluminum. Like, you have to do that. You have to foil seal it. And then the thin foil tearing, the pan touching the sides of the water bath. Listen to these. You can't, it has to be in the middle. Nothing can touch. It's really, I don't know. Aggressive boil inside of gentle and instead of a gentle steam. So you're going to have to make sure that the oven temperature is not making the water boil and not creating like a bubble up aggressive boil. You know what I mean? Now here's some solutions to that. Is you can double or triple wrap with heavy duty foil if you choose to use a springform pan or choose to use a water bath. You can use a large roasting pan so that it doesn't touch the side, so that won't be a problem, and then like kind of put the top over it. You can add water once the cheesecake is in the oven instead of adding it, like some people add it on the counter. So it may be easier to get the cheesecake and bring it over to the oven, place it in the pan that you're going to place it in, and then add the water later. Make sure to bake it at 300 to 325 to keep the water from boiling and keep it at a nice steam, even if you have to cook it longer. Okay, and then also you can place the pan inside of a silicone wrap sleeve if you want to. And I do have, I'm going to put some things in my chat. Like I'm going to put like the best springform pans to use. I'm going to put the link to the silicone wraps, as well as your heavy duty foil, and also I'm gonna put your what is that? The paper, the parchment paper. I definitely, now me, I'm a parchment paper user. I use parchment paper better than more than I do use the heavy duty foil. I try to avoid that, but like if you're using the springform pan and you're doing the water bath and you have a certain way that you want to do your cheesecake, yes, definitely, like I will put all of these in my description once I am finishing editing the video. Okay, so I was thinking that this video was going to be like a little longer. Let's see, I have some other things that I did want to show you. Let me make sure that I can find it real quick, because we had some just a moment. Let me make sure that I find the page here. Let me put this down, because they have some really good information about let's see. Okay. All right, I can't find it here. All right. Okay. So anyway, I can't find it here, but I had some more information. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put more information about the perfect cheesecake, about the best pans that you can use. I'm going to add all of this to my Patreon, and the Patreon, and let me go ahead and move this out the way so that you can see me and know that I am telling you. All right, but okay, I'm back. I am back, but yes, I will be adding this to my Substack. And if you don't like I am at Chef Terra Pink on all platforms. All right, and I'm gonna put everything about the cheesecake, a good cheesecake recipe, and the best springform pans that you can use to make the cheesecake. Also, like I said, I'm going to put the heavy duty foil, as well as the silicone sleeve, and all of that is going to be readily available for you and easy for you to find, so that you can do it, as well as some ingredients. I think I'm going to put the best things on there, as well as some do's and don'ts about, not buying the skim milk, not getting the low fat milk. You're going to need all fat products. Do not get fat-free cream cheese. Do not get fat-free milk. You are going to ruin your cheesecake. Okay? You are going to ruin your cheesecake. So, anyway, yes. Fixes: high quality 9-inch springform pan, heavy duty foil, silicone wraps, double bowl method springform inside of a cake pan, roasters. You're going to need all of this. This prevents, why does a cheesecake need a water bath in the first place? Most people be like, okay, well, I can just put it in the oven. I don't really need a water bath. Like, why would I need that? First of all, your water bath prevents cracking. And then it controls the heat, because like if the heat isn't evenly distributed, then you're going to get more heat on the top or more heat on the bottom, and then that's what makes the cracking. The water bath creates like a steam and goes around the cheesecake. That makes that perfect distributed even heat that you need for that delicious cheesecake. Okay. Also creates a creamy texture. The water baths help that creamy texture. So yeah, you can skip the water bath. You can skip these things, but going that extra mile gives you that better cheesecake. Here's a little bit of cheesecake science. Protein coagulation around 150 to 160 degrees. And this is for your forensic food personality, because like I am a forensic person, all right? You're going to need to protein coagulate. Now, like I said, this is going to be on my Substack, and I do have a Patreon as well. But I'm going to put extra information like these. If people who like to dig deeper into the science of why the cheesecake behaves like this, the science behind it and everything like that, you can pay that. But like I will give like just basic recipes and basic knowledge on the free platform. So there's something for everybody. So even on the free Substack list, there will be something for you. But just remember, like, even though I will release this video later on today, the Substack that has all of the extra information will not be ready for another couple days. Here's another thing. Let's see. Another thing for the forensic people in my crowd, all right? Egg structure versus cream cheese fat structure. That's another thing that I'm going to talk about. And the moist versus dry heat. This will all be under that as well. Like I was telling you, watch your over mixing, watch your cold cream cheese, make sure that it is warm and room temperature. I literally, whenever I cook cakes, cookies, cupcakes, brownies, all of those things, I let all of my eggs, milk, everything get room temperature first before I start to mix. Okay, unless it's something that like calls for cold, because some things do call for the cold, but majority of cakes and cookies and things want you to have room temperature things. Now, not sitting out too long to where it starts to have that bacteria, but this goes back into my science, and I will start putting that on the Substack. Okay, and so let's see. And I do think that that's all I'm going to talk about today, other than the things that I will tell you about later on my Substack as well as the Patreon. And I thank you for joining me today and taking the time to watch my video. I really, really, really appreciate it. So, like, I don't know. Okay, so I just hope that today's like cheesecake investigation gave you clarity and a little bit more knowledge on how to make the perfect cheesecake for you, a little bit more confidence, you know what I mean? This will just be a little bit more culinary magic to add to your personal little recipe book, because like these are some things that some people don't know about, like cheesecakes and why their cheesecakes are not turning out the way that they want them to. But also, let's see, let me look right here. I did have a few more things to let you guys know, but I will tell you about those later. But just remember to follow all of those little tidbits that I told you about, and to follow my other pages at Chef Terra Pink on Substack and Patreon and TikTok as well. Okay, and if you enjoyed this, Please sprinkle some love on this stream and subscribe. And meet me in my next mystical kitchen adventure. Until then, may your crust be firm, okay? And your fillings be silky and your pan stay loyal. This is Chef Terra Pink floating out. Love you.